Congressman, first question that I give to all the candidates is, why are you right to stay in your congressional district? Why are you the guy for the job again?
Well, look, given my background as a Green Beret and as a veteran and as a businessman, I'm about results. If you don't get results in combat and you don't get results in business, like there's immediate bad effects. And I think we've gotten results, even being in the minority in the House, which is not easy many days. But whether it's through constituent services and helping them navigate the federal bureaucracy or legislation, we've delivered legislation for Gold Star families. We've delivered legislation for STEM education. We delivered, I think, a very fair share of the federal stimulus and the CARES Act, the Space Force, which is critical not only to national security but Florida. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not there to hang out. I'm there to get things done, move the country forward, work across lines if that's party lines, if that's what we need to do, or work within party lines if that's what we need to do. At the end of the day, results focused, and that's why I hope and pray that voters feel that I'm deserving of reelection.
Congressman, if you win again, we're still going to be in the middle of a pandemic. One of the things that I'm talking to a lot of the representatives and challengers about is COVID-19 and the next stimulus. Is that something that's still on your mind? Getting another package out there at some point?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely on my mind. Particularly what I found so frustrating, Gene, is we still have literally hundreds of billions of dollars left over from the CARES Act that are unspent, sitting in the Treasury right now, particularly for the PPP program. It would take a simple reauthorization to allow those businesses that are hurting so badly to get another bite at that apple for, again, monies that are already appropriated, sitting there ready to go. So I think that's one key piece. Liability protections are another key piece for businesses that are struggling to reopen. We don't want them to get sued. And then I would be, I think, supportive of another round of direct stimulus, but I think we'd have to have some slightly different parameters around them. But at the end of the day, what we can't have is this all or nothing approach that Pelosi has taken, another several $1 trillion or zero. I think there are things that we could get done right now if she would just, again, get rid of this kind of my way or highway thinking.
If Joe Biden wins, right, and we have more of a Democratic wave in this election, are you still confident in your ability to work on both sides of the aisle to pass some legislation to get things done?
Well, I do think the progressives will kind of really run the day when it comes to the House of Representatives, heck, when it comes to the entire government. And that is, we are just not aligned in where we want to see this country go. I am not in favor of more socialist policies, but I am on the Armed Services Committee. There's a lot of bipartisanship there. I am on the Science, Space, and Technology Committee. There's a lot of bipartisan there. I am a proud conservative, but I'm also willing to find common ground. The American people deserve that, and absolutely our men and women in uniform and our veterans deserve it. So we'll find a way.
I haven't had an opportunity to speak with your opponent, Clint Curtis. I think I actually might be able to speak with him on Monday. Do you think that he is a formidable challenger? I'm curious, what your thoughts are on Mr. Curtis.
Well, he's a perennial candidate. I think this is the fifth or sixth time that he's run. And has raised very little in terms of resources to get his message out. I think we're in good shape. If you remember Alan Grayson, he announced as a write-in candidate. Kind of trying to stage his comeback against me. But look, we have knocked over 100,000 doors, have taken this incredibly seriously. We've kept our ground game going. We have a lot of support from the community. I've been very present. Just did an event at Bethune-Cookman University in making sure that they have the permanent resources, which is really significant from this president, the permanent funding that they need as a historically black college. Again, Gene, look, I think the results speak for themselves. So far, so good in terms of voters agreeing.
Congressman, the only other issue I wanted to just touch on, because you and I have gone seriously in depth on this before, but you're very big on China and holding them accountable on many different areas. If you are elected again, where are we going as far as that?
Well, there's a lot of talk, and I think it's right, about reducing our dependency. COVID's been a wake-up call. We have to bring manufacturing back home. I've been very focused on not only bringing it back home, let's bring it to my district. Let's bring it to the Daytona area. I think that triangle between Cape Canaveral, Orlando, and Daytona is ripe for space business, for aerospace, for STEM jobs that spin off from those, but also for the medical industry and bringing our manufacturing of our PPE back home, manufacturing of vaccines, manufacturing of our pharmaceuticals. Because we have the talent in the universities and the human capital to support those industries. And second term, I absolutely plan to be successful there. Obviously, it's a team effort with your local and state officials, but it's something that I'm pushing hard on, not just bring it back to the United States, but bring it to Florida.
Congressman, seriously, those were just a few questions that I had for you. But as usual, I just want to leave it open. Anything else that you want to bring up? Any issue? Just anything you want to bring up?
Well, look, I think in the very near terms, when it comes to the virus, we have to take a reasonable and a balanced approach. I do not believe Joe Biden's plan of just going back to shutdowns is reasonable. We have to protect those that are most vulnerable. We have to protect the age groups that are most vulnerable and those with secondary conditions. But we have to let the rest of the country get back to work and do it smartly and do it reasonably. I think we can do that. I love what Florida is doing in terms of its schools. It makes families the decision maker rather than business or rather than government, where you can go in person, you can do hybrid, or you can do virtual. I think that's the right approach. We will get through this. The previous record for a vaccine was 4 years. I think we're going to beat that by a mile. And I'm really encouraged by the 33% GDP growth rate that we just saw third quarter. America has won world wars and built canals across Panama. I mean, we've done great things. We're going to beat this virus, and I think we're going to move forward in a great way as a country. And one of the things I loved about what the president said in the debate was success will unite us, and I believe that. And looking forward to having more wins in the future.
Yeah, we could use a little more unity than division these days, huh?
Yeah, that's absolutely, man. And you know how I feel about that. A big part of that is getting more veterans on both sides of the aisle in our political system and getting our youth back to national service again, and doing it with people that, don't have the same backgrounds, don't look like you, and putting service first. And serve your community, serve your country, serve your neighbor. And I think that's a path back towards a more unified America.